You know what time it is. You know what time it is.
How firm my friendship. Ohio.
You know what time it is. Roll with them boys of the fall. You know what time it is. On the ground with a nose for the ball. You know what time it is. Blood, sweat, and them tears for this game. Leaving it all out on the field with no fear for you lames. And it's Buckeyes by a billion. We in the building with over 100,000. We represent from the uttermost to the public housing. And if we don't play, all wide receivers got your secondary shook, so they cook them like Bobby Flay. Hey, stay out of my way and trust me, cause I know it's OH. Somebody please give this brother an IO. Come on.
What up, Buckeye Nation? Welcome to the Buckeye Boys, where we talk about college football with real fans. I'm Devin. That's Mello. And as you can see, as promised, we got a familiar face joining us again. The Womacks. The Womack family has joined us to talk about the upcoming decision, the process with recruiting, and the whole 9 yards. So, chat, we appreciate you joining. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and share this feed on your Twitter accounts. We can get more people in here, give them an update, man. But BJ, Nicole, how y'all doing tonight?
Man, we're good. We're good.
Doing very good.
Good. Mello, how about you, man? Still
Man,
hanging
I'm great.
in there?
We got the number one family. Everybody loves this family. That Bralan is my favorite prospect in this entire class, regardless. So I'm excited that we got them back on here to kick it with us.
Yeah. Easily the most talked about recruit in the nation right now. Your son, Bralan Womack, the number one safety. Obviously, you've been on the show before. We know that the Buckeyes highly interested in him. He's highly interested in the Buckeyes, as well as Auburn and Florida and Texas A&M. But it's been a long recruiting process for both Bralan and yourself. A lot of time, a lot of money, a lot of effort is poured into this thing from everybody from within the circle that you guys have created, that circle of trust, man. So going through this process, it's almost over. On Thursday, Bralan is going to choose where he's going to spend the next 3 to 4 years of his college career. But for the parents that are about to go through this, are there any pieces of information or advice that you have for them? Any unexpected things throughout your journey? Any tidbits of information where we can maybe help out some families that are about to join this process?
I mean, it's been a long journey. I would say stay prayed up, stay true to who you are. Like, regardless of who you have in your circle, whether it's 4 or 5, it could be 20. Make sure that if that's who you start with, that's who you finish with. Because there's going to be a lot of people coming trying to latch on, a lot of people coming trying to persuade. But you just got to stay true to who you are and what you believe in.
Amen.
How about you, Nicole? You got anything? Or are you just agreeing?
I'm just a praying mama.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That has gotten me through this process. Honestly and truly, it's a learning experience. My story may not be your story, so it's hard to say in that situation. But listen, stay prayed up. It's all I got.
Yeah.
It's a great experience to go through, but it's also
challenging.
It's very challenging.
Very
emotionally draining because you're dealing with real relationships, and that you have to choose a school, and you would love to go to all 4, if you have a top 4, but of course that's not possible. But as for me, I want to, I know I'm getting off track, but I want to thank every school that has recruited Bralan, coaches that have made a huge impact in his life, that has truly been, supportive of him and this whole process. So I just want to get that out of the way.
Yeah. Well, I mean, very popular recruitment. You guys' phones, I guarantee, have not stopped. We were one of those people that were helping your phones not stop. So we apologize for that. We're super excited, man. You talk about relationships being built. I mean, we haven't built a relationship on that level, but we did. We were here at the beginning. We've heard Bralan's story. We've heard your story. We heard his heart. He wanted to be a Buckeye. We heard about his other schools he was interested in. And it's coming down to the wire, man. And there are, we got all these crystal balls out there. One's in for Auburn right now. We know his sister goes there. But about the only question I have is like, how soon is a decision expected to be made? Is this going to come down to the last minute, you think? Is a decision kind of already formed in your guys' minds? Or are you guys still dealing with that stress of trying to put all these pieces together and figure out what's best for your entire family?
I mean, we just about know. We kind of have a feeling of what's best for our family. Mm-hmm. But at the end of the day, it's what's best for Bralan. You see what I'm saying? We do have that. So for me, one thing I will say is I had to sit my son down about a couple of days ago, and I told him just straight up, I said, hey, listen, I've always been a man that's going to I've always made decisions, and it wasn't always about me. I had to make a decision that was best for my future. I think 5 to 10 years down the road, and it's not about right now. I know a lot of people are talking about money and a lot of people are talking about this, but your ultimate goal is the NFL. So don't think right now. And so every decision I ever made was long term.
Yeah.
And so that's why I just constantly tell him, like, every day leading up to this, like, dude, you got to make sure you're making the right decision for you. I don't care. And I'll say this on the live. If my son choose to ditch all 4 on Thursday and say I'm going to University of Southern Miss, I'm going to still be a proud father.
Yeah.
Yep.
You see, like, that's just how I am. So his decision is going to be his decision.
Yeah. Amen.
So does he still have that same checklist about like how he looked at the development, who got put in the NFL, how many players been put in the NFL by the coaches and all that? Is he looking at the
Oh yeah. He's still watching all of that. He's paying attention to a lot of stuff behind the scenes. Bralan had a conversation with his mentor, not too long ago, and he just simply told him, he was like, listen, I think your destination is already written. God's already written it. Amen. So you just need to do what you got to do for you.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Dude, man, I don't have any kids, but being a part of this and hearing, talking to families and recruits and stuff, it's brought me to that real level of this thing. Kind of like Nicole said earlier, like these are real relationships we're dealing with. And as fans, we kind of sit back sometimes and we're not in the thick of it. So, we don't really understand that, but there's so many things, dude, that so many things can change throughout a recruitment. You brought up money. That's like the main talking point right now. We've seen all these rumors out there with, the Ohio State no offer and all these wild things that, if you just sit back and you can read and understand that these are real people, that all this stuff is just to generate clicks and stuff. But what's that like, man, when so many, variables are coming to you? I don't just want to say money, but when all those things are being thrown around, like, do you have to sit down and compartmentalize and go over each section of each school? Or are you kind of, like you said, you guys are sitting back and it's your son's decision of the overall picture here, everything included? Like, are there times when these variables get thrown in and it just makes you sit back and be like, holy crap, man, what do we do now?
I mean, those times come.
Yeah.
I'm not going to sit here and shy away from it. Those times come, but at the end of the day, I will say through this whole process, and especially over the last 48 hours, it's been me telling myself, like, what's important. Because think about it. I mean, I was a college athlete. I made it a week with just $20, $30. So the money is nothing. My college experience was, it's a little different than today, but I enjoyed it. Mm-hmm. So that's what I'm trying to get him to understand, like, what you're about to go into, and that's really nothing compared to where you can be in life 5 to 10 years from now.
Yeah, absolutely. And especially my thing is, if people want to bring up money, right? Ohio State may not offer the most money off the bat, which I don't think you guys really are that type of family that want, I want $1 million up front type of family. But what they can offer is if you get on that field and you perform, the city of Columbus will take care of you. Because right now, I can guarantee you, Caleb Downs makes more money than anybody at Auburn or at Florida or at any of these other schools. And no, I'm serious, he does. Like, that's just a fact.
Yeah.
So, like, if you come to Ohio State and you perform, the fan base will take care of you.
Right.
So when people throw out the NIL money and stuff, I just think I think it could be short term if you're not looking at the long term over the next 3 years. Because you might make this the first 3 years and it's a higher number, but if you're playing and starting at Ohio State year 2 and year 3, you would make double whatever that was to begin with. So
let's make something clear. Okay?
Yeah.
The school does not offer NIL.
So who does it?
The outside businesses.
Okay.
The school is operating off of shared revenue.
Okay.
So shared revenue is what they're dispersing out.
Okay.
So when we talk about the NIL, man, we've seen plenty of kids around here who's getting NIL, but that don't mean nothing to us. Like, we didn't chase that.
Right.
Yeah.
We're still not chasing that.
Yeah.
It'd be great to have.
Yeah.
I mean,
he gonna get it
but-
regardless. Wherever he go, he gonna get NIL.
Yeah,
Like-
like we're not gonna turn it down
Right.
if it came, but it's not like we're out pursuing it. We're not out saying, "Hey, we want to do a NIL deal," or "Hey, we're looking to get an NIL." We're not doing that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, I continuously tell Bralan, like, what's coming, like what God has said for you, can't nobody stop it. Can't nobody take away.
Amen.
Today is not your time.
That's a fact.
Amen. Yeah. That's one of the reasons, one of my passions, me and Mello's passion behind this show is you have these recruiting industries and, of course, Twitter and everybody else that they like to push these narratives and all these things. And, from bringing you guys and Bralan on the show, every time that gets put out, and it has been put out several times about, man, so many recruits are just going to pick the money. And it's just like, no, man, like if that'll come, right? The players like Bralan and some other players in this class, man, like they're about their business. They were raised the correct way. Their mentality is and their maturity level is way beyond their age. Like that's coming, man. You still have players that look like that, but there's also that money out there that is life-changing in the moment. And the difference is kids like you're talking about that think about the long-term goal versus the short-term goal. And it sounds like you guys have been those people to kind of keep Bralan at that level because, dude, when I was that age, it was about tomorrow or right now. It's like, yo, what can I get right now? What can I have in this moment? So speaking of Bralan, like got a lot of stress on you guys as parents, a lot of variables in your decisions, but have you seen changes in Bralan, the way he's handled this recruitment, the way he's handled everybody talking about him, the way he's handled this publicity? As parents, are there things that you have seen to show you that Bralan is capable of handling these situations when he goes and he's on his own? Because I'm sure you guys are paying attention to that. Hey, like, man, what's this doing to him? How's he handling this? What's his maturity level when it comes to this? What are his thoughts when it comes to this variable about this school? So what have you guys seen in Bralan that gets you guys excited about his future because of this recruiting process?
So listen, I'm going to just be frank with you. Bralan is very mature. So he's treating this as if it's a job interview. Like you got the description of the job, you have the benefits, you have the pay. You sit all four of them down in front of you and make the comparisons. Check your boxes. And that's what he's doing. And then, of course, people don't want to hear it, but money is a factor. You wouldn't take a job and you don't know the pay, correct?
Right.
And I want adults to understand that this is what these kids today are going through.
Yep.
And it's already pressure. And then they get on the internet and they criticize children. And the kids see this. And that's where my issue comes from. And I told my husband, I said, listen, when Thursday comes, Wednesday, I got to get off the social media because it's a bit much because let's be honest, what person is going to take a job and all the benefits packages aren't matching up. Let's be realistic. You know?
Absolutely.
So that's where we are. Let's just keep it 100.
So to that question, I'm gonna respond. Bralan has really helped us out a lot because there's been times where, you know, it's kind of like, Bralan, let's sit down and let's do this. Let's talk about this. Hey, Bralan come in the house and he'll go straight to the room and he'll say, it is what it is. I'll make my decision and I'll just keep moving. He'll like, nobody knew Hartfield 3-4 years ago. Yeah. When I arrived, there we had it. He said, so I made a name for myself. He said, so I'm just going to go out and play football on Saturdays when that time comes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So for him, I mean, I just think it's more of Bralan's not really letting this get to him. And that's the part that I really enjoy about him, and I really enjoy watching on a day-to-day basis. Me as a father, I'm not gonna lie, the last 24 hours have been hectic, guys. Mm-hmm. Like it's been crazy for me, and I'm just like, I have to get out of that mindset. I have to stop letting things bother me, because at the end of the day, it's gonna be Bralan's decision. Bralan's gonna make his announcement, and he's gonna move forward.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I love what you always bring up, man. It's the foundation in my life. It's a foundation I pray several people find, and it's God, man. You know, as long as you're taking the next right steps in life, you're following what his purpose is for your life to the best of your ability that you can, and you surround yourself with like-minded people, man. I mean, you're going to go through some rough times. You're going to be persecuted for your beliefs. We live in a world that is just so chaotic and so driven by greed of many forms, not just money, but of popularity and all these things, man, that if you don't have that foundation, I couldn't make it without that foundation. I would be nothing. I couldn't sit here and I would just be gone. I wouldn't do anything. So knowing that, man, that foundation, and it sounds like he has that foundation at a young age, man, I can't imagine how different my life would have been if I would have realized that, you know, at that age. But, you know, to ask we're wrapping up here. This is my last question for you. Kind of put you on the spot a little bit, but it just is what it is, man. Does Ohio State still have a chance? Are they still in the running here? Are they still a team that could be announced?
Yes, Ohio State is still in the running. I can promise you guys that. Yeah. Ohio State is still in the running.
Okay.
That's good because we saw the crystal balls and the fong bombs in Auburn.
Hey, we saw it. I mean,
yeah,
we saw it.
That's this game, man. That's this game now. That's why I was asking, because, dude, being a young kid, oh my, dude, it's so hard now. Everything's out there on social media, dude. Everything, man. And you know, it sucks to see even the way some Buckeye fans and a lot of other fan bases, you have a couple, the way they respond to some of these things. It's like, dang, man, you know, we've talked to this family. We've talked to Bralan himself. Like, that's not who they are. But ultimately, you got to fall back on, you know, what, you know, God looks at you like. Like, how does God view you? That's the most important thing. And then how does your family view you and your circle around you? And, man, that's, you know, it's nice to hear that, right? From a football fan perspective, we pray that he's a Buckeye. We know the Buckeye situation. We know that they are not offering top dollar. We know some schools are coming in and doing that. And like Mama said, that it's a job interview. You're going to look at all these packages. You're going to compare them. And, hey, if a team does not match up with those other packages, then shoot, man, like that's a variable in this recruitment. And as much as we want him to be Buckeye, I still pray he is. And you just said that they're still in there. These phone conversations are happening, that ultimately if Bralan keeps that foundation of Christ, and it sounds like he is, man, it's going to be fun watching him on a football field. I want him to be the Buckeyes, but it's going to be fun watching him wherever he goes, knowing the family and the foundation he's got surrounding him. But Mello, you got anything else for BJ
Absolutely,
or Nicole?
Man, I appreciate you guys, your family. I think you guys are A1. I think Bralan obviously is my favorite player. What's up, Bralan?
What's up?
What up,
man?
bro?
You're my favorite player in this whole class, man. I'm gonna be honest with you. Buckeye Nation wants you. They want you bad. I hope you're a Buckeye, honestly. I think you fit the culture. I think that's your personality. But even if not, I'm following you. I'm gonna watch you because I'm rooting for you, kid.
Yes, sir. I appreciate y'all. I love Buckeye Nation.
Yes,
Yeah.
sir.
Hey, even if you sign with another team, can I send you a Buckeye uniform to sign? I'm just joking. I'm just messing with you.
Hey, I mean, if that's what you want, I'd make it happen.
Yeah, I got you. I
Yeah.
got you.
Thank you
All
guys
right,
for joining us, man.
BJ, appreciate you, man. You got any final words for College Football Nation, Buckeye Nation? Anything you want to say?
Nah, man. Thank you guys for having us on, man.
Absolutely.
Yeah, we appreciate you, man. We're going to be live streaming his commitment.
You know what? I do have one more thing for Buckeye Nation.
Okay.
OH.
I-O.
Yes, sir. Hey, we appreciate you, man. We'll catch you next time.
All right, man. Y'all have a good one.
Take care.
Yeah, you too. Well, there we go. You know,
right from their mouth.
Interviewed them before. There are things that you can take from that and, you know, feel really, really good about. There are things you can take from that and choose the negative route of, you know, the job interview and the benefits packages, and they all have to match. I mean, one thing we know is that that's what the Buckeyes are in the midst of doing right now. That is not over. The Buckeyes are still continuing to try to do that. I mean, right, the just to put it up there, Buckeye fans do not think that the Buckeyes benefit package matches the rest of these teams. They think there is a huge gap. And yes, there was once a huge gap. There is no longer a huge gap. There is still a gap. Is that gap now small enough, right? Is that development a big enough factor? Is that brotherhood a big enough factor at the Buckeyes now? Is the coaching staff, the NFL, all those things, is that a big enough factor to overcome that gap? Because there is a gap. There's a pay structure at Ohio State. And a lot of Buckeye fans are going to hate when I say this, but we have an 89% blue chip ratio. We have one of the most expensive rosters in college football. When you sign a 4 or 5 star, you don't just pay him his freshman year. You got to pay him more the next year. So all these classes build it up. We have a very expensive roster, and there is a level, base pay, that all these guys come in at. And yes, I do think maybe it's time to maybe restructure that. And if you give everybody, if you give your starters a little more, then you can pay these freshmen a little more. But again, I am falling back on trusting this coaching staff and trusting, the recruiting, gurus in there, because their evaluations of these kids has been, spot on. But just to make it very clear, there is that side of me that, thinks that we're going to have to adjust our levels of pay. I just don't see how we're not going to be able to, because clearly these rules that they're going to try to put in, they're not going to exist.
Right.
I mean, so we can do this. But he did make something very clear that I want to explain to people, and it is that, the Buckeyes and all these other teams, they're offering their revenue sharing, and then these outside sources, kind of like the foundation and stuff, are coming in and offering these other packages. And this kind of blindsided people. So they're having to get these packages together. And the truth is, here's what I know for a fact. Teams are putting together ghost packages, okay? They got caught so off guard that they put together, let's say, a $500,000 package in hopes that some businesses will raise $500,000, right? And that's not happening. There are some players that I specifically know about that was a ghost offer. They are now being told, hey, we don't got 5 for you, but we got 3. The Buckeyes will not do that at all. The Buckeyes will make sure everything is approved first. So throughout this Bralan recruitment, we can use this as an example. As things come in, as that work is put in the back, and these deals get figured out, and it's there for sure, then they will offer, because the Buckeyes will never, ever be a part of that crowd that is throwing out ghost offers or money that they don't know for 1,000% these recruits are going to get. So, I'm excited about this class. I know that it's not what we wanted after a natty, but look at the changes, right, in the landscape of college football and NIL. There are definitely some very aggravating factors of this. I share in that aggravation, but there's also another side of this that you can look at, right? There's 2 roads to go down. It is not all a negative outlook, and I'm a firm believer that as much as you guys don't want to believe this, the Buckeyes are 100% in the race for Bralan Womack at this point in time, right? This crystal ball for Auburn got put out on old intel, on pieces of information and intel that wasn't known as of 10 o'clock last night. New things have come to fruition at this point in time regarding Ohio State and some other teams as well that has changed the dynamic of this recruitment. Could we end up with the same result? Sure, we could, because we know teams, desperate teams like Auburn and Florida and Texas A&M will come in and, you know, we all saw it, Luke Waffle. We could have another Luke Waffle experience where the Buckeyes do, boom, up it. They meet those requirements, but then you get into that difference, you know, kind of like, you know, Nicole talked about there that, you know, companies got to have similar benefit packages. Well, the Buckeyes, they're only going to go so high and they will not go over that. And we'll see what they do, man. You know, I'm pumped about this class. I think the evaluations were killer. And I'm not worried about where we wind up in the nation because this team is already 89% blue chip ratio. That's the highest in the nation. So, like, we're continuing that. We continued out the 25 class. The average ranking of this Buckeye class is, I believe, still top 5. And I think it will end top 5. There's still some late risers here. So quality over quantity in this class that we're looking at. Some of these classes above got 30, 33 recruits. The Buckeyes do not have that. Mello, what's your thoughts on all that? I feel like I just talked for 20 minutes straight.
You did, bro. I ain't gonna lie to you. I started daydreaming and thinking about other stuff.
Sorry,
I'm
man.
like, damn, Dev, come on, man. But no, the one thing people are forgetting that BJ had directly told myself and Dev actually is that Bralan actually likes that if he came to Ohio State, he knows that a freshman will not come in the next year and make more money than him. So that's a plus. It's just what Devin said. Like, we need to kind of alter our pay structure. You're going to, at some point, you have to pay the players on the team a little bit more, which means you have to do a little more work in terms of fundraising and getting money. So that way you could play the high school kids a little bit more competitive offers, give them more competitive offers. Because if not, Ohio State is going to fall behind, kind of like when George Steinbrenner passed away. The Yankees fell off a cliff for a while because George Steinbrenner Jr. decided he didn't want to do the same type of pay structure that his dad was doing. And we can see that happen at Ohio State. I know it sounds foreign to us because we've never seen that happen. This is the most bulletproof program ever. But NIL has completely changed the game. So either you could move with the wave and get on board, or you're going to get drowned by the wave and die in the process, even for us. So it won't be this year, next year, but like 3-4 years down the road, you could feel the effects of this if we don't do some kind of adjustment.
Yeah. Of course, you know me, you know, Buckeye Boys watchers, you know that I stick to the positive, you know, side of things. I don't foresee the Buckeyes falling off. Could they? They absolutely could. I don't foresee that happen. But something I want to remind people of is that, you know, I see people in the chat that we've seen this story before. It doesn't end good. Well, let me remind you that we have also seen this story before, and it has ended very well. Right? Ohio State did not have the highest offer for Caleb Downs. Ohio State did not have the highest offer for Sam Greer. Ohio State does not have the highest offer for Blaine Bradford.
Nope.
Ohio State did not have the highest offer for Tavian St. Clair. Ohio State does not have the highest offer for Chris Henry Jr. Do you want me to keep going? So
JJ,
you have some instances, right, where it does end badly. But I would argue that we have way more instances of this turning out the correct way. But we can
for sure. Especially like think about Justin Scott. He flipped to Miami. What has he done at Miami? Not a whole lot. So he sacrificed his development, went for a bag, went for the warm weather. But in 5 to 10 years, is his career in the NFL going to be better than if he would have came to Ohio State and developed under the GOAT? Absolutely not. And if he would have got on the field here and made an impact, he would have got paid as well. So, like, that's the thing. Like, people have to look at the long term, in my opinion. And by long term, I mean 2 to 3 years, not your next freshman year. You got to look at your sophomore and junior, or your redshirt sophomore and junior year, because that's when the money's going to come. And yes, you might be getting this package here, but there's only so much growth you're going to get there because you have to look at the market. There's not that many businesses in some of these places. Columbus is one of the biggest, fastest growing cities in America. So if you get on the field here, you're going to make top dollar. Caleb Downs makes more money than all those players on that team as a safety.
Yep.
At the team that, and I'm just saying the team that he's been crystal ball to. As a safety, he makes more than every player on Auburn, period. So, like, you have to, at some point, when you're looking at the long term, and if you're betting on yourself and you know you're going to be that dude, then you're going to go to the school to develop. Yes, you want that front end offer to come up a little bit more. They don't want it to be, it doesn't have to be the top one, but it needs to be competitive, right? Because people want to feel value. And then once you get on the field, that growth is going to be astronomical in terms of what you could get somewhere else. And it's going to make that initial NIL evaluation look like chump change.
Yeah, man. We've seen it recently with, Mama D, Deetra Sanchez. She put on there that, hey, the Buckeyes pay base pay. They pay entry-level pay for entry-level players, right? Like most of these freshmen, 5-star, not 5-star, they're going to come and they're going to wait. Devin Sanchez, the number one corner in the country, he's coming and he's waiting. He's accepting base pay. And what is he doing? He is betting on himself.
Yep.
And what does that show you about the type of confidence and mentality that Devin Sanchez has that he would take such a bet on himself? That shows you everything you need to know. That the dude is about that life. He's got the confidence. He's got the work ethic. He's got the belief system. He's got it all, man. He's got the package, right, to come to Ohio State, choose that culture. And I think the more and more time that goes by in college football, the more changes that are made, the more important culture becomes. I think that brotherhood and culture aspect is only growing in importance when it comes to a football team because money and fame are things that will drive wedges in between football teams. That's not a guess. That's not anything. Golly, some people. I need to just hide this this chat, man. I'm gonna flip out on people one day for no reason because they're not even worth my time or effort. But people are so freaking annoying, dude. Anyway, I lost my train of thought. But anyway, and on that same point, I think that the type of player that the Buckeyes are looking for is becoming rarer and rarer each year. Right? Because of what college football and these nil rules and what they are doing, it's changing people. It's making them essentially have to choose the money. Not have to, but you know what I mean? The difference is so big that it's life-changing money that they then forget all about those other aspects that we're sitting here talk about. And it is a science that Ohio State develops better at the safety position than Florida, than Scum, than Auburn, than Texas A&M, than Texas. I don't know what, Caleb Downs is here. And you brought up a beautiful point, man. If you have faith in yourself, if you're confident in yourself, and you know that you can come to Ohio State and do it, you can be the highest paid safety in college football, right? You can be the highest paid wide receiver in college football, right? And none of those guys took the biggest bag, and that's what we're dealing with. But this is something that we're going to be dealing with for the rest of the time we're going to be watching college football until it goes to, whatever. I don't know what the NFL does, but until they change it up, this is always going to happen, man. Mello, anything else to add there? You can gain so many things. Give me your overall thoughts of your feeling after that interview. What's your honest feeling, man?
I think right now, Ohio State has work to do. I don't think we're in the lead. I think they were pretty clear without being super direct about it in terms of the package has to match the benefits and the whole job analysis that Nicole put out, right? Basically is the same thing we've been saying for weeks. They need to make it a little more competitive. Like they want to be in Columbus. They want to be in Ohio State. That's where they want to be. Anybody could tell you whatever you want. If he ends up choosing Auburn and he says it was the family, and we all know like he prefers Ohio State, right? That's just what it is. You see it here. You see how he talks. You see the interviews live. I mean, it is what it is. I know when they went on their OV, they hit us, me and Dev, up at like midnight, like, yo, we're about to hit up Hyde Park. Remember that? Like, so excited, trying to make us jealous because we weren't anywhere near there. Like, they love Columbus. They love everything about it. So, I mean, Ohio State just has to do the right thing, honestly. If you want them, go ahead. You don't have to be top dollar, but it needs to be competitive.
Yeah. No doubt, man. I mean, I agree. And, we'll see. I hope the Buckeyes can do it, but there's a wish-wash of emotions because when BJ was talking, I'm like, oh, dude, it's
that part
the
too.
Future and all that, and the waiting for the future. Don't worry about the money. It's about the experience and all that, and I get super excited. Like, oh, dude, this really sounds really, really good. And then, Mama comes in as mamas do, rightfully so, protecting her son, wanting the best thing. And there are so many variables to this that we don't know, by the way, FYI. There are a lot of variables to this decision that we're not privy to. It's not none of our business, quite frankly. So, no matter what decision is made, you can't really judge them. We don't have the full picture, but you can get an idea kind of where a player's mindset is based off of certain decisions that are made. But, either way, Russ, did your super chat go through it? It did, man. Yeah, Russ, thanks for the $4.99. Thanks for setting that up, Devin Mello. Yeah, no problem. We worked, me and Mello both. Definitely, this was the hardest interview that we've ever tried to get, for sure. It took a lot of work, a lot of trying to have done. I'm sure several people in the nation would have loved to interview the Womacks at this point in time. So thanks to them for coming on and sharing what they did. But it's almost football season. And to go to these football games, you need tickets.
Woo!
And, we happen to be running a trivia contest on this show where you could possibly win a free ticket to the Washington, Ohio State game on September 27th. I got that date wrong. For some reason, it's in my Google Calendar, September 13th. So I almost got a hotel room for the wrong date. But I didn't. Saved it at the last moment. Ticket is purchased. It's a $240 value. You have to cover your airfare. You have to cover your stay there. If you cannot cover those, I will reimburse you the $240 I paid for the ticket under the guidelines that you promise you will use that money to go to an Ohio State game in the future, not for our benefit, but for yours, because life is about experiences. And if you can go experience a new thing in your life, such as an Ohio State football game, I suggest you do it. That being said, we got 2 trivia questions tonight that are each worth 5 points. And we are going to keep asking questions until 10 points are given away tonight. And that's a lot because Steely has 13 and he's in second. The Natural has 15. He is in first. We got Ken Taco with 7. Russ, you got 6. So, Russ, you could get one right and automatically jump to third. A. Meadows has 7. John, you got 4. Uncle Bubba, 3. My Aunt Chris has 1. When did Aunt Chris get one? There's no way she got one right. But anyway, if anybody gets either of these 2 right, I'm going to be very surprised. I will say that. But on that note, here we go. Are you ready, Mello?
Yes, I'm ready.
Ohio State had to wait until 1895 to play a game outside the state of Ohio when they traveled to play which current FBS school? What FBS school did Ohio State play outside the state of Ohio very first? You get one guess, and it's the first guess that you put in the chat. Whoever shows up first in our chat on our end gets the credit. It is not Team Up North Elite Sports King, but that is a good guess. This is a hard one. Not Wisconsin. I don't see very many people guessing. I wonder if it says there's 200. Craig got it. There you are, Craig. The answer is Kentucky. I know Craig's on this list somewhere. Craig, yeah, you had 1. You now have 6. Look at that. Boom. That was quick. All right. Question number 2. John Hatfield, just a little bit late there. You got it as well. Kentucky. Congratulations. All right. Here we go. Another tough one. This is a number, though. This is a number. Ohio State made its debut in the Associated Press poll in 1936 when it entered the contest against Michigan. At what ranking? What was Ohio State's first ever AP poll ranking?
I feel like people are trying to Google real quick.
Yeah,
It's all right.
That's against the rules, but hey, man, if you do it, that's whatever. This one almost has to be Googled. Like, I mean, shoot. At this point, hope somebody does Google it and get it right. You guys are way low. I know. The Buckeyes back in the day were not thought of as very high. Like, you guys are way off. Abe, that's close, sir. No. Sean, close. Close, Sean. Close.
We got 5 seconds.
No, Liz. Not that low.
And that's it.
Yep. Nobody got it, man. The answer was 18th. Okay. Here we go. Oh, this is a good one. I like this one. I like the answer even better. All right. Somebody should get this one right. I would have guessed this one right. Okay. Against which school does Ohio State have the most wins without a loss? Most wins without a loss. Which school? I'll give you a hint. It's not an SEC team. No. It is a Big Ten team.
I think it starts with
It's going to throw people off that I say it's a Big Ten team. It's going to throw people off a little bit. That's the truth. It's a Big Ten team. Now. Dang, man. Nobody got it. The answer.
He froze right when he was about to get the answer.
Did I freeze? Am I unfrozen now?
Now you're unfrozen.
Okay. Abe, you got it just late. You only get one guess. The answer was Oregon. Mello, we got to keep going. I said,
okay.
Oh, shoot. This one is who can type the fastest. I'm telling you, everybody in this chat is going to know this answer, and you're going to know it immediately, probably before I finish the question. So get ready to type. This is guaranteed, Mello, and we'll be done with the show. Been podcasting for 2 hours straight. Here we go.
Yep.
Are we ready? I bet you I can say the first 2 words and somebody will get it right. What charm do Ohio State players receive for a win over the cheating scumbags?
I'm not even going to play Jeopardy. That should be.
No, bro. It's about to be popping up fast.
Boom.
Oh, dang. The natural just, that's a gut punch, man. The natural just took the lead in a big way.
Yep.
That's because
Natural's
not even
like
here,
he's going
man.
to Washington with you, buddy.
I know. Yo, the natural, quick question, put in the chat. If you get the ticket, are you going? Because if so, you're more than welcome to hook up, man. Me and my family are going. Your seat, Andrew, you did not beat him. Laugh out loud. But you're right beside us, and then you might be able to talk to Dennis to get on. So it's the 27th is the game, or is it the 28th? Okay, the game's the 27th. I'm leaving I'm getting there the 26th, and the game's on the 27th. Yeah. So
That's a long
Andrew,
flight
I
from
don't
here.
even know why I'm engaging in this conversation, but I will tell you that on your end, the chat looks different in everybody's. We've got screenshots from people saying they won, because on your end, your name probably does show up first. As much as I wouldn't want to give you credit because your mean comment earlier, I do respect you, and you have watched the show before, so I don't mind the comments, to be honest with you. But if you were first, I would have gave it to you. He beat you on our end, so all right, Mello.
All right.
What's up, dude? Anything? No, you're all over your phone trying to
Man,
tell your daughter how to break up with her
it's gonna be
boyfriend and
fun.
all.
Let's tune in. I think Xavier and Hyder's commitments tomorrow. I'm not expecting them to choose the Buckeyes. We also got Darius Graves coming up. We'll see. I don't have a vibe on that one way or another. And then obviously the big one, the one everybody wants, Bralan Womack, Ohio State. Don't fumble.
Yeah. Savion Hyder snuck a little Instagram story in about Ohio State. Now everybody's curious. Unless I get completely blindsided, he is not choosing the Buckeyes. Darius Gray is choosing LSU. He's not choosing the Buckeyes. Bralan Womack is the hope that we are waiting on. And then the Buckeyes are going to have to reevaluate some people. I know a couple defensive ends that the Buckeyes are sneaking around, poking around at. Maybe I'll divulge that information as soon as I get the go ahead and I'm allowed to. So appreciate you guys. Love you guys. Go Buckeyes. OH.
IO.